The sound of the front door slamming echoed through the penthouse like a gunshot. Yuna was gone, but the silence she left behind was louder than her screaming. I stood at the bottom of the stairs, my chest heaving. My hands were shaking, just a little bit, hidden inside the sleeves of the silk robe. I had just kicked out my husband's girlfriend. I felt powerful. I felt like a queen defending her castle. But then I looked at Minho. He wasn't looking at the door. He was looking at me. And the look in his eyes. It wasn't fear. It wasn't regret. It was pure, icy hatred. "Are you happy?" he asked. His voice was so quiet it scared me more than if he had shouted. "You humiliated her." "I humiliated her?" I laughed, but it sounded brittle. "Minho, you brought your mistress into our home on the first morning of our marriage. You humiliated me." I just took out the trash. He took a step toward me. For the first time, I saw the wild horse his grandfather had warned me about. His fists were clenched at his sides. "She is not trash," he hissed. "She is the only person in this world who actually knows me. The only person who loves me for me, not for the Hanseong name, not for the money. Unlike you." That stung. It stung worse than the rain yesterday. "I don't want your money," I said, my voice wavering. "I want your respect. We have a contract, remember? Clause 6? Or did you forget that while you were crying on her shoulder? The contract," he spat the word out like poison. "That is all you are to me, Zara. A piece of paper. A signature. Don't ever think you have the right to dictate who I love. You won this round because you own the deed to the house. But remember this. A house is not a home. And you will never be welcome here." He turned his back on me. He walked to the liquor cabinet at 9 a.m., poured a glass of whiskey, and drank it in one swallow. "Get dressed," he said, slamming the glass down. "We have to go to the office. The PR team is waiting. Try to look less aggressive." Okay, pause. Look less aggressive? If a man said that to you after cheating on you in your own house, what would you do? Because I wanted to throw that whiskey bottle at his head. Let me know in the comments if I should have done it. And if you're enjoying the drama, hit subscribe because it gets so much worse. Okay, back to the nightmare. I went upstairs. I didn't cry. I refused to cry. Adebayos don't cry over men with bad haircuts and worse attitudes. I showered, scrubbed the stress off my skin, and put on my armor. A sharp emerald green suit. Gold jewelry. My silver braids tied back in a high, regal ponytail. I looked in the mirror. "You are a CEO," I told my reflection. "You are not a victim." But when I got into the car with Minho, the atmosphere was toxic. He sat as far away from me as possible, staring out the window. I pulled out my phone to check my emails. And that's when I saw it. My notifications were blowing up. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Thousands of notifications. My heart stopped. I opened Twitter. The #1 trending hashtag in Korea was hashtag the gold digger. I tapped it. And there it was. A photo. It was a photo of me at the airport yesterday. But it was taken from a low angle, making me look looming and angry. I was pointing at a porter. I was actually telling him to be careful with the fragile box. But in the photo, it looked like I was screaming at him. And the caption? Posted by an account called Seoul Insider, but we all know who it really was. Breaking, the new bride of Hanseong arrives. Rumor has it she forced the marriage to save her father's bankrupt Nigerian company. Staff say she is rude, aggressive, and abusive to the help. Poor Minho Appa. My stomach dropped to the floor. I scrolled down to the comments. Look at her face. Scammer. She looks scary. Save Minho. Go back to your country, gold digger. She doesn't deserve him. Yuna would have been perfect. My hands started shaking uncontrollably. The phone slipped from my fingers and fell onto the leather seat. Minho glanced at it. He looked at the screen. He saw the photo. He saw the comments. I waited for him to say something. To say this is a lie. To say I'll call the PR team and fix this. He picked up my phone. He looked at the hate for a long, silent minute. Then he handed it back to me. I told you, he said coldly. Image is everything here. You just made yourself the villain. I didn't do anything. I shouted, my voice cracking. Yuna posted this. I know it was her. She took this photo. You have no proof, he said, looking back out the window. And frankly, Zara, looking at the comments, maybe the public sees what I see. I sat back. I felt small. Smaller than I had ever felt in my life. I was alone in a foreign country. My husband hated me. The internet hated me. And the only person I could call was my dad. But if I told him, he would have a heart attack. So I stared out the window at the gray city, and for the first time, I let one single tear roll down my cheek. The rest of the day was a blur of meetings where people whispered when I walked into the room. Chairman Lee, the scary grandfather, called us into his office. He threw a tablet on his desk. The gold digger article was on the screen. "Fix this," he barked at Minho. Then he looked at me. "Tonight is the annual Hanseong Gala. All the investors will be there. The press will be there." He leaned forward. "Stay in your room, Zara. Do not come. You are a liability right now. We will say you are jet-lagged." I looked at Minho. He nodded. "It's better if she stays hidden, grandfather. She'll just cause a scene." They were benching me, like I was a naughty child. I nodded. "Understood, Chairman." I went back to the penthouse. I sat on the edge of the bed in the dark. "Stay in your room. Hide. Be ashamed." That's what they wanted. I looked at my phone. Another comment popped up. "She's probably hiding in shame. Coward. Coward." I stood up. "I am Zara Adebayo. My grandmother fought for independence. My father built an empire from dirt. We do not hide." I walked to the closet. I pushed aside the safe beige dresses the stylist had bought for me. I reached into the back, to the garment bag I had brought from Lagos. I unzipped it. The fabric shimmered in the dark. It was a custom piece. A fusion. The top was structured like a Korean jaggery, but made of vibrant, metallic gold Ankara fabric. The skirt was a flowing ball gown of emerald silk. It was loud. It was bold. It was unapologetic. I put it on. I redid my makeup. Sharp winged liner, dark red lip. I laid my edges to perfection. I looked in the mirror. I didn't look like a victim. I looked like a war goddess. "Let them stare," I whispered. The gala was held in the grand ballroom of the Hotel Shilla. It was a sea of black suits and polite conversation. Minho was standing near the stage, holding a glass of champagne, looking miserable but handsome. He was talking to some old investors. I arrived late. Fashionably late. I walked up to the double doors. The ushers looked nervous. "Madam," one whispered. "Mr. Lee said you weren't coming." Mr. Lee was wrong, I smiled. "Open the doors." They opened the doors. I stepped into the light. The conversation stopped. I mean, literally stopped. The music didn't stop, but the chatter died instantly. Every head turned. 300 people. And there I was. I wasn't hiding. I was glowing. The gold Ankara caught the light of the chandeliers. My silver braids looked like a crown. I walked down the grand staircase. Chin up. Shoulders back. I heard the gasps. "Is that her? She's stunning. Look at that dress." I saw Minho across the room. He turned around to see what everyone was looking at. His glass rose halfway to his mouth. His eyes went wide. For the first time since I met him, the cold, dead look was gone. He looked struck. He looked at me like he had never seen a woman before. I walked straight through the crowd. People parted for me like the Red Sea. I walked right up to Minho. He was speechless. He just stared at me, his eyes traveling from my face to the dress and back. "Zara," he breathed. You were supposed to stay home." I leaned in close, so only he could hear. "I told you, Minho," I whispered, smiling for the cameras that were flashing blindingly around us. "Rule number 1, I do what I want." I turned to the cameras and posed. The flashes went crazy. I had stolen the show. I had hijacked the narrative. I wasn't the gold digger anymore. I was the star. Minho looked like he didn't know whether to be angry or impressed. He stayed close to me, his hand hovering near my back, like he was afraid I would explode. But then someone else approached us. "Excuse me." The voice was smooth. Velvet. We turned. Standing there was a man. And oh my God, he was taller than Minho. He had a kinder face, a warmer smile, and he was wearing a white tuxedo jacket that made him look like a movie star. Minho stiffened immediately. "Jae-sung," he growled. "What are you doing here?" "This is a Hanseong event." "I came to see the merger," the man, Jae-sung, said, ignoring Minho completely. He looked at me. His eyes didn't have judgment in them. They had delight. He took my hand. He didn't shake it. He bowed low and kissed my knuckles. "So this is the famous Zara," he said, straightening up and looking right into my eyes. "The internet said you were a monster. They forgot to mention you are the most beautiful woman in Seoul." I blushed. I actually blushed. "Thank you," I said. "And you are?" "Kim Jae-sung," he smiled. "Minho's biggest competitor. And currently, his biggest jealous rival." Minho stepped forward. He physically shoved his body between me and Jae-sung. His face was dark. Darker than I had ever seen it. Back off, Jae-sung, Minho snarled. He grabbed my hand hard. He pulled me against his side. His grip on my waist was possessive. Tight. She's my wife, Minho said. Not a business opportunity. Jae-sung laughed softly. Careful, Minho. If you don't treat a jewel like a jewel, someone else will steal it. He winked at me and walked away. I looked up at Minho. He was trembling. He looked down at me. His eyes were blazing with something I hadn't seen before. It wasn't hate. It was possession. Did you like that? He demanded, his voice rough. Did you like him flirting with you? I like being treated like a human, I shot back. You are not a human right now, Minho whispered, leaning down so his face was inches from mine. You are mine. My name is on the contract. My ring is on your finger. Don't ever let another man touch you like that again. I stared at him, my breath catching in my throat. Was this jealousy? Or was this just another clause in his stupid contract? Whoa. Minho got jealous. Do we like the possessive vibe, or is he being toxic? And who is Team Jae-sung? Because that white tuxedo. Phew. Let me know in the comments, Team Minho or Team Jae-sung. Episode 3 takes us to Jeju Island, and trust me, there is only one bet. You do not want to miss the spice. Subscribe now. See you next time.